Coucou les coucous, de retour à Beacon Pine. Hey Kato. Good afternoon, Luca. Can I help you find something? Maybe not. Try me. Well, there's been some weird stuff going on at the whole old Valentine warehouse. Can't say I know anything about the old warehouse, but empty hives don't stay empty for long.
Kato motioned to the book in front of him.
The more I read about bees, the more similarities I see with people. If a hive collapses and fell, it doesn't stay empty for long. A new queen will set up shop pretty quickly. So you're saying it would make sense for someone new to start using the warehouse? Nature harbors a vacuum. Hey Jace. Oh hey Luca. Have you seen this new issue of Hank Atomic? Not yet. No spoilers please. It's awesome. It's a flashback. No spoilers, please! We get to see how mal-mannered Henry Adams become. Hank Atomic's man of space justice. Jace! No! Spoilers! Oh, sorry. My point is you're gonna love it. Alright, Jace, catch you later. Roger that, Space Cadet. Got some jam for you, Mr. Nuncreed. Luca, you seem chipper. Well, aside from being on delivery duty, it's a nice day.
Mr. Nuncreed eyed Luca for a moment,
Yeah,
then nodded in agreement.
I suppose it is. So, you want your jam? Oh, right. Usually Juniper drops those off herself. I guess she's busy today. Anyway, this is my last delivery for today. Oh, in that case,
Snatched the basket from Luca.
I'll hold on to the basket until the next time I see you, your gran. Convenient for me, merci. Just an excuse pour voir. Hey, you! Anchovies or pineapples? What? Don't think. Just answer. Pineapple. Why? How old are you? 12! Perfect, follow me. Who are you? On s'est pas rencontré encore. Anyone ever tell you ask too many questions? Just try to keep up, okay? What just happened? Well... Vive là ses parents. Hey, what a crazy coincidence. Here's my new friend I was just telling you about. It was a trap all along. T'as l'air adopté? La fille aux lunettes a l'air d'une souris. L'autre à droite, je suis pas sûr. Oh, that's wonderful. Yep, we just hit it off. Oh, really? Get this. His favorite pizza topping in the whole world is pineapple. Oh, what is your new little friend's name?
Locked eyes with Luca. The look on her face was equal parts expectant and desperate.
Luca Van Horn, nice to meet you. I'm Nellie and this is Ilona. We're Beck's parents.
Beck gave Luca a quick nudge.
Yeah, Beck told me all about you. I do feel like we've known each other for years. So, you both can stop obsessing with me about me making friends. Oh, darling, we never doubted you. It's just that for children with fewer than 5 close friends, the probability of a stunted development doubles. Well, 1 down, 4 to go, I guess. What Nelly means is that we just want this move to be as easy on you as possible. You can relax, a friend has been friended. Let's call for a celebration. Luca, you must join us for dinner tonight. Dinner? Wow, another coincidence. I'm actually already asked him and he said he would love to. It's just wonderful. In that case, we should pick up some groceries. You two don't get into too much trouble now. Wow, I can't believe that worked. Thanks a ton. You're welcome. I owe you one. My mums are great and all, but they can be a bit too much sometimes. Our house is that little cottage next to that big mansion place. Wait, you live on the Valentine estate? Yeah, that's the spot. Meet me by their big creepy gate. Don't be late, or I'm back to square one on this old friend grift. Great, see you there. Meet Beck at the big creepy gate. On peut ici. Huff and puff. Good morning, Jeff. What's so good about it? Another day further down the tube, if you ask me. Come on now, it's not all that bad. Festival's coming up. Festival. Old man Valentine used to put a cook on Kakamami shindig all the time. And where did that get us? Well, it's perennial harvest putting on this one, and they're doing it for the whole town. As far as I see it, the difference between the old Valentine Company and this new perennial harvest
Jeff
outfit
dug through his pockets for a bit.
is the difference between this empty soup can and this brown banana. But those are both garbage. Exactly. J'aime bien les thèmes qu'ils explorent so far, avec la ruche vide. On peut rien faire ici. Let's go look. Oh there, little buddy. What brings you to this neck of the woods? Oh, I was just wandering around a bit. Wandering? How wonderful. Children and their wonderful wandering. Oh, to be young. Anyways, I can't let you pass just now. Top secret business
Mr.
that
Cutter
away.
winked with a wry smile.
And I'm just yanking your chain. Perennial harvest is just making a few
He gave
improvements.
Luca an energetic thump on the shoulder.
Better head home now. Harvest away. Ils sont en train de dumper le green sludge, peut-être. So, who all lives in that house? Harris and Gus Val... Ok, Harris, c'est littéralement la Harris, puis son nom. Gus, c'est le maire, je pense. Solomon moves in a few years. Solomon? Who's Solomon? Ah, peut-être le kid? C'est une... Ouais. The creepy little kid in the vest? Ouais, c'est ça. That sounds like the one. So just 3 people live in that huge thing? I bet a bunch of shady stuff happened all the time in a place like that. Not really. Valentine pretty much keep to themselves. So it's empty and boring? Pretty much. What a waste. My mom says that it used to be way busier back before Sharper died. Before the foul harvest. Oh, that's like the 5th time someone mentioned this foul harvest thing. And you all use that same ominous tone. Eventually, you're going to explain to me how that harvest got all fouled up. We can't keep my parents waiting anymore. This way. Most kid would have just ditched me by this point. Why are you still here? You look like you could use some help. You know what, Luca? You're not so bad. Let's get through this as simply as possible. Just eat, smile, and nod. Fun. Great, whatever you do, don't bring up their work. I think I can
Beck
handle
took a
that.
long breath, then gave a firm nod.
Here goes nothing. Not much.
Chapter 4.
Okay.
Dinner with the Moodwills.
Mood.
Ilona Moodwill was worried about change. A gardener at heart, she understood the necessity of change, relied on it even. But there was a difference between the controlled world of her plants and this cluttered cottage in a strange town. Almost done. Nellie was a blur of activity, digging through boxes. Sorry, love, couldn't find the dishes. We'll have to make do with paper plates. Dinner went by without much conversation. As she watched Beck and Luca finish up their pizza, Ilona let herself relax into the chair.
No pineapple.
The things she cared about were still here. Nellie finally had the job of her dreams. Beck was beginning to take root. Ilona's task was simply to tend to them.
Oh,
She could do that.
and unsatisfied. So, Luca, tell us a bit about yourself. Where do you live? Oh, I live with my grandma over on the other side of the river. Your grandma? Where are your parents at? Beck, manners. Alright. My dad passed away in an accident at the fertilizer plant 6 years back. Oh dear. My mom's been missing for a few months now. Like, missing?
Luca's eyes were fixed to his plate, pushing a chunk of pineapple around with his finger. Nellie was the one who eventually broke the silence.
Okay, Nellie is... Yeah. Luca, how did you like the pizza? Oh, it was good. Very good. Normally we'd have put more effort into
Ilona
dinner.
nervously gestured toward the boxes.
We aren't fully settled in and Beck had mentioned that it's your favorite. I'm sorry, we're just skipping the part where he said his mom was missing. Beck! Sorry, Luca. This move has us all a little
Luca
tired.
wiped his face with his sleeve.
No, it's fine. So Beck said that you move here for
Beck
work?
gave Luca a swift kick under the table.
Ow! I mean, what about you to be confined? Oh, you were right the first time. We're here for work. Nelly won't tell you this, but she's a brilliant chemist. Okay. I don't know about brilliant, but I do love it. Okay, so classes equal nerds equal chemists. She's brilliant. Perennial Harvest just made her their newest lead research of deep engineering. Quit deep engineering. Quit deep. You make it sound more impressive than it is. I'm just happy that I get to make a difference in the world. Perennial Harvest is at the forefront of evolving agriculture. Do something more useful than sprinkling water and excrement on the ground.
Luca glanced over to Beck. She seemed to be holding her breath.
What Nelly means, Luca, is that there are different ways to grow plants. Yes, some people talk to their plants and hope for the best. And some people happily leave their job to allow a loved one to pursue their dream. You swore you didn't.
Slammed her fist into the table, perhaps harder than she intended.
Luca, how about some dessert? I actually have to meet my friend Rollo
Luca
soon.
glanced outside to gauge the time. The sky was darker than he expected, filled with ominous clouds.
Looks like there's a storm brewing. Should get going. Oh, I didn't think there was any rain in the almanac. Yeah, almanacs aren't that useful around here.
Luca wiped his mouth one last time with his napkin and started to get up.
Thank you all for the pizza. It really was good. Did you even like pineapple pizza? See you at the festival, Beck. Oh. Beck va prendre une décision. Wait up! I'll walk you home.
Surprised, Luca turned around. He knew Rollo could be prickly around new people. But Beck seemed cool. Rollo would warm up to her eventually. Probably. Luca began to respond,
Nice.
but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to rumble with ominous thunder.
You sure we can make it home before the storm kicks off?
Luca surveyed the roiling clouds.
I'd say the odds are good. Maybe you should stay here and I'll just make a break for it.
At that moment, the heavens opened up, unleashing torrential rain.
You have to recalculate those odds. You're inside, you two, before you catch cold. Things, clothes, becs, des fleurs sur le plancher, une radio ici. Luca, Nelly will keep trying to reach your grand on the phone. In the meantime, you two hold tight. C'est un lit à 2 étages, c'est ça, un lit qui est très haut. Sorry, not much to do up here. Most of my stuff is still in the boxes. Mind if I poke around? Be my guest. Oui, des affaires d'une fille.
Luca squinted into the eye hole of the microscope.
This looks wild. What is it? Gum. Gum?
Luca adjusted the slide with his fingers to get a better look.
I'm tracking the structural integrity of gum with increasing amount of chewing. Chewed that one for 37 days.
Luca wiped his hand off on his sweater and gave a nervous laugh.
Weird, I know.
Looked down, timidly tapping the ladder with her feet.
You think it's weird, don't you? A little. Or it can be cool. Oh wow! Rollo and I have a radio just like this at the treehouse. Probably not exactly like this one. My mom and I tore the whole thing down to the bolts. Fitted with some state-of-the-art vacuum tubes. She seems pretty awesome. She gets carried away sometimes. I think she feels guilty for working too much. But when she does have time for me, she shower me with high-tech overcompensation.
Luca flicked at one of the toggles.
Bet you can get all sorts of stations on this. Not out here in the boonies. You wouldn't believe the stuff I could pick up back in the city. But around here, it's all farm report and static. Yeah, shucks. Oh wait, that's not
Luca
also.
bent down to examine the bouquet of wilting flowers. Judging by the odor, they were well past their prime.
Pungent.
He flipped open the attached card.
Happy trail from Coach Walker and all at Fairview Condors. Boy, you weren't kidding about poking around, huh? Sorry, was this from your old school? Most recent one, yeah. Some school gave me going away cards. Some did flowers. When they're really trying to feel good about themselves, they do both. You moved a lot? Yeah, that's the thing with having a brilliant parent. There's always a better job somewhere else. These flowers would last longer if you put them in some water. That's the sort of thing I would do if I cared. Well, you care enough to keep them is all. Luca, can I ask you something? Of course. Dang, didn't that hurt? I'll be honest, that hurt more than I expected. Well, at least you look cool doing it.
Beck took a moment to watch the rivulets of water running down the window.
Do you ever feel alone? Like even when people are around? Well, Rollo can be pretty absent-minded sometimes. Serious. Does it ever feel like your family doesn't care what you want? It didn't used to feel that way. I know Gran loves me, but... sometimes when she looks at me, it looks like she's looking at a problem.
He took a deep breath, exhaling slowly.
I know the feeling. How do you deal with that? I guess I haven't. But one thing my dad told me when I was little, don't hold a grudge, especially against yourself. If you try to hold it in, you're gonna pop. So then, what do you do? When you don't know what to do? Dad never got to that part. Sometime I figure out on my own though. Something. You gotta do something. Anything. Here. What are you doing? I don't know. Something. We're gonna register our complaints with the storm. Listen here, you miserable universe. Stop jerking me around. I just want things to go back to the way they were. Everyone tells me it's gonna be alright. That things are gonna change.
Let out a feral scream that echoed into the night.
Every time something changes, everything gets worse. Screw this town. Whoa. Let me try. Moving sucks. I hate it. I hate that I hate it. Why can't I just deal with it and be happy for my mom? Why can't we just stay somewhere? Ah!
His voice dropped to a trembling whisper.
Just want to be a normal kid.
Brushed off her shirt and straightened up.
I mean, you're pretty normal. There. Wow, I actually feel a little
As
better.
abruptly as it began, the storm abated.
Thanks. I needed that. Me too. I should head out before the rain starts up again. Sure, I'll walk you out. See you at Rollo at the festival? Sounds good. Luca, don't let the universe jerk you around.
Beck gave Luca a light thump on the arm before heading in.
Monk and Benson
Chapter 5. Friendly Feud. The air was heavy with a hard rain's residue. The smell of wet things. Despite his dreary surroundings, Luca felt at peace. He'd never shared those details about his dad with anyone, not even Rollo. But it's not like this changed anything. Rollo was still his best friend.
Mamas and Faye.
Adding Beck to the group would help balance things out. Everything's better in threes. This is what Luca told himself as he headed to the treehouse.
Fait que la fenêtre qui est en haut à droite, c'est probablement l'os qu'on a shout. Hello, Dawn. Hey, Dawn, tracking down a lead? You bet. I heard a juicy new rumor. Turns out, when Sharper Valentine died, he left behind a peculiar last will and testament. Peculiar? How? He didn't just give his kid an inheritance, there were conditions. Like what? The document stipulated that Harris had to take on a child as her ward. Okay. A kid our age who just showed up to town one night with a lawyer. Solomon? Bingo! So Harris was forced to take care of him? Yep, or she would have lost everything. Why would Sharper care so much about some random kid? Rumor has it old Sharper sowed some wild oats. That explained the way Harris treats him. Je suis pas sûr que j'aurais compris pas cette joke-là, mais c'était... Qu'est-ce que ça voulait dire à 12 ans, ça? Poor Solomon. How did you find all this out? A good reporter never reveals their source, Luca. I'm just a plot device. Oh, glowing mushrooms? Better not dilly-dally. Gotta get to the treehouse. Which means I have to investigate everything! Yep, that. He met his old friend's eyes, was greeted with nothing but ice-cold anger. Heaven, this is no time for fractured friendship. Est-ce que je vais me chicaner avec Rollo? Find a way to kick the melon? Ok. J'ai pogné l'achievement de kicker le melon, même si j'ai pas fait grand chose. I'd rather not dilly-dally, ouais. Weird qui me donne l'opportunité d'interagir avec, mais qu'il fasse rien. Excuse me, what are you doing? Just logging up for the night, sir. Oh, wonderful. I can only assume this means all festival preparation have been completed ahead of schedule? Not exactly, sir. The storm set us back a bit, and it's getting late, so we all decided to. You all decided? Yes, sir. I wasn't aware that your job involved deciding things. We are all here at Perennial Harvest because we believe in creating a better future, yes? Yes, sir, very much, sir. You want to be the one to tell this town that we felled them? No? That we gave up because there was a little rainstorm and we got all sleepy? Of course not, sir. Good, then it's decided. Yes, sir, we'll work till the task is done. See that you do. Our harvest will wait.
Luca wrapped a twig of thyme around the hook. Some fish have refined taste.
I wouldn't call thyme being pungent. And again, j'ai jamais vraiment cuisiné avec, fait que... Property of Sharper Valentine. Figures. If he had his way, property of Sharper Valentine would be written on everything in this town. Should we give it back to him? He may not even want it back. The man's got a contentious relationship with time. We'll keep it here in case he ever wants to pick it up. Rollo, you still up there? Sorry, Rollo isn't accepting visitor at the moment. Come back never.
Luca had only ever heard him speak in this stiff yet gentle tone a few times, and it always meant one thing.
You're upset. Oh, what makes you say that? Maybe because my best friend abandoned me for no reason? I didn't abandon you, I'm just a little late.
Scoffed.
Rain held me up. Liar! You weren't even home. What? The storm got bad and I got worried, so I went looking for you. Imagine my surprise when I made it to your house and you weren't there. I hadn't made it back yet. I'm not a fool, Luca. Doesn't take all day to deliver some jam. No, why? Storm rolled out of nowhere and I got stuck after dinners at
Luca
Beck's.
stumbled on his words, knowing he'd said too much.
Beck? Dinner? What the heck is a Beck? He's a new kid in town. He's actually kind of cool. You like her. She needed help convincing her parent that she'd made new friends. New friends? Spent all day waiting for you, and you were off making new friends? Not like that, Rollo. You know? While I was waiting, I made some upgrade to mission control. It was gonna be a surprise, but you took so long, the storm knocked it all down. Just like you knocked down our friendship. What does that even mean?
Luca became instinctively angry in response. Both boys were now shouting across the distance.
Means you're a bad friend. You don't care about me. Of course I care, you ass. And you would get in trouble waiting so late for you. But I kept my word, because that's what friends do. Oh wow, what a noble sacrifice you made. Easy for you to say. Your grand doesn't even care. You can't stay out as long as you want. You wouldn't even get in trouble. Seriously? You're acting like I chose this? That's what you think? Maybe you're the bad friend.
His tone changed to a calm, yet more intense anger.
Maybe Pa's right. Storm brings more than water. This one brought out the real Luca. Stop quoting your Pa nonsense like it means anything. Yeah, well, at least my Pa's still around.
Hung in the cold night air.
Harsh?
Rollo's stomach dropped, knowing he'd crossed a line. But it was too late.
Luca, good night, Rollo. Très bonne nuit.
Luca dug through his old stuff, not even sure what he was looking for.
Rollo, what a jerk. Call me a bad friend. Well, thinks I'm still going to festival with him, so he can shove it. Ooh, I'm Rollo. Look at me and my amazing family. Roxy's so cute. Oh, wait, probably not what he wanted to say. Guess I'm just never supposed to make new friends. Weep. Faceplant. Luca?
Gran cooed gently from the hallway.
You slept right through straight through breakfast. Luca, you alright? Fine. Don't feel like getting up yet. Okay, I'll leave this oatmeal by the door. Gonna run out and take care of some things. Okay. I'll be back later to check in. Sure.
Luca just wanted to be alone. He waited to hear the sound of the front door closing.
Bet Rollo's still gonna go to the festival. He's gonna be miserable.
Luca dozed off again.
Luca, I see you didn't eat your oatmeal. Wasn't hungry. Well, just in case you get hungry, I'll leave a sandwich here too. Thanks. Rollo came by. What did you say? He wanted to talk to you. What did you say? I told him you weren't feeling well. Good. So your plan is just to sit in your room all day? Pretty much. We'll need to pop away again for a minute. If you decide to end your pity party, go outside. I think it'd do you some good.
Luca
Noted.
still couldn't bring himself to go out. Besides, if he ran into Rollo, he'd have to actually confront the situation.
We wouldn't want that. You're still going to the festival, you can shove it. It's never anything interesting at a festival anyway. That was harder than needed.
The Adventures of Hank Atomic.
Complete first
Luca
volume.
carefully opened the cover and began to read. Rollo had received it for his birthday. A special hardcover edition with behind-the-scenes commentary and bonus art. Rollo cherished it, but asked that Luca keep it at his house. Luca wasn't sure if it was because Rollo didn't trust himself with it, didn't trust his sister around it, or just wanted an excuse to come hang out at Luca's more often. Whatever the reason, Luca didn't mind. But it had stayed right there where Rollo had stashed it ever since. Now, at the foot of his bed, Luca lost himself in the pages. He'd read it all before, but at this moment, it somehow felt sentimental. He was well into issue number 5 when he heard soft footsteps from the hallway.
Luca? Another little friend came to see you. A girl named Beck Modwell. You said you met yesterday? What did she say? Is she here? She was just dropping by. I told her you weren't taking visitors today. Oh. She seems nice. Yeah. You had a fight with Rollo, didn't you? Can I come in? Maybe later. Alright then. I'll leave dinner on the kitchen table, in case you want a bite before bedtime.
Without realizing it, Luca had pouted away the entire afternoon. He once again felt the weight of it all, and allowed his weary eyes to close. Luca stood in a vast black expanse. He looked up at his father standing beside him. Walt was working a straw at the bottom of a fountain glass, trying to collect the last bits of milkshake. Dad, where are we? Taking a final loud gurgling sip, his father peered up from the glass. He jangled the straw playfully with a warm smile, then lifted the empty glass as if to point into the darkness. The source? Luca's eyes followed his father's gesture. In an instant, he was sitting in front of a blazing campfire. Across from him sat a large figure in a yellow hazmat suit. The figure's voice was a scratchy echo.
Okay. J'ai vu la personne. Si Rollo est là, c'est parce que j'ai été à la facture tout seul, donc j'ai vu la personne puis je me suis débattu.
Well, if it isn't the man of the hour, make yourself comfortable. Luca held his shivering hands over the flame to warm himself. It doesn't work that way here. Their yellow-gloved hand pointed to the base of the flame. It's a cold flame. See? Luca peered at the base of the fire. It wasn't wood that was burning. It was Beacon Pines itself. Tiny buildings, freezing and crumbling as they were consumed by flame. Luca could see small shadows moving in the burning city. People. Luca leapt to his feet. We've got to help them! The figure gave a dismissive wave of their hand. Why waste energy helping people who can't even help themselves? The figure bent down to examine the panicked crowd as they desperately tried to stop the flames. They only care about what's right in front of them, not like us. Luca's voice was a trembling whisper. Us? The figure slowly stood up, grabbing its helmet with both hands. With a jolt and a twist, the suit emitted a gasp. A cloud of torpid mist escaped, slowly revealing the face within. Luca's own face looked back at him, older, worn, distant. The sensation was oddly familiar, as if he'd caught his own reflection by surprise in the mirror. The doppelganger smiled. I tried to help once. He gestured towards his face. And all it got me was this. Luca staggered back. You aren't me. Luca felt a hand catch his shoulder. His father was there again, beside him. Every choice sets us on a path. This is the end of one of your paths, son. Luca watched his older self shake its head ruefully, its face twisting into a cruel grin. Welp, Dad. If you wanted him to see this, far be it from me to disappoint. Luca watched in shock as the figure took a confident step forward and plunged into the flames. In a flash of cold light, he was gone. What does all of this mean? Luca felt a reassuring squeeze on his shoulder. Just remember, why we choose matters just as much as what we choose. Luca woke up to see a hazy figure at the foot of his bed, silhouetted in the morning sun.
Mom? No, dear. It's only Gran.
Luca rubbed his eyes. The kind, concerned face of his Gran came into focus.
How are you feeling? Fine. Anything you want to talk about? I don't feel like talking. It's just as well. How about you sit there and listen a bit? Whatever you and Rollo thought about doesn't matter. But
Gran silenced Luca with a gentle pat on the leg.
Fight between friends happens. What was said doesn't matter. The important thing is that it is not the last thing you ever say to each other. But you said stuff about Dad. Well, do you think he meant it? No. He was just mad. Did you mean any of the thing you said to him? No. Good. One must appreciate friends in their best moments and accept them in their worst. Now get your little butt out of bed. The festival's today. You don't want to miss that, do you? Guess not. Seems like a good opportunity to make amends with Rollo, doesn't
Luca
it?
gave a reluctant nod.
So buy him a corn dog and apologize. He's the one that... What did I just say? Buy him a corn dog. He's a good boy. Everything's better with corn dogs. Need to get going now. Got some last-minute festival business to take care of. Can find you at the fountain a little after lunch. Alright. Love you, Luca. Love you too, Gran.
Luca took a deep breath.
Okay. Ah.
Chapter 6. Through thick and thin.
Oh.
Despite Luca's bitterness, Gran was right.
That's
He
music there.
needed to hash things out with Rollo. A big fight changes the nature of a friendship. Whether, in the end, it is for the better or for the worse, all comes down to understanding. If one is not careful, the same familiarity that builds the strongest of bonds can become the wrecking ball that shatters them. Luca emerged from seclusion, taking in the crisp festival air. But the events of the day weren't on his mind. He had to find Rollo.
Alright. On va passer un épisode ici. Puis, là, je suis rendu à combien d'épisodes, là? Je pense qu'on est à 4, 5, 6. Peak and Pine R, 2... 3, 4, 5. Fait que je vais me rendre jusqu'à 6, I guess. Puis peut-être appeler ça une série. Fait qu'il va peut-être rester un épisode si on est à 5 en ce moment là. Mais pour le moment aujourd'hui, je vais vous dire au revoir et à bientôt.